Dear students, welcome back to our English class. In this video, we are going to learn about Act 2, Scene 2 of The Merchant of Venice. Now, before I start paraphrasing, giving you the paraphrasing of Act 2, Scene 2, let me just give you a briefing of what we have learned in Act 2, Scene 1. In Act 2, Scene 1, we have seen a lot of visual and verbal pompous. It is marked by the entrance of Prince of Morocco, one of the suitors to Portia. Now, Prince of Morocco is of dark complexion, yet he was very confident, he was charming, and he was not only charming, he was very courageous. He was confident of his valor, you know. So, Portia actually warns Prince of Morocco beforehand that if he fails in his choice of the casket, he would never in his lifetime try to woo or attract a lady. Now, through this scene, this Act 2 Scene 1, what information we get is about the lottery of casket and the conditions Portia's father has attached to those who make the effort to win Portia and get married to her. Now, in Act 2 Scene 1, some more themes of prejudice based on racial and religious differences are also highlighted, along with gambling, games and chance. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about the scene which is divided into three sections. Now, in this particular video, I am going to touch upon the first section mostly. The first section is dominated by antics, that is the foolish, outrageous, amusing behavior of Launcelot Gobbo. That is, who was Launcelot Gobbo? Means Launcelot Gobbo and his father. And Launcelot Gobbo is the servant of Shylock. We have already been introduced with this character. And Launcelot Gobbo is found debating, actually Launcelot Gobbo, the son Gobbo, is found debating with his conscience, whether he should leave Shylock's household and take up the service with Bassanio. Why? Because Launcelot Gobbo, the son, the younger Launcelot Gobbo, he was under the impression, he was under the false expectation that Bassanio is a very wealthy and a gentleman. He gives new uniforms to his servants, and over here the Jews are very cruel. So ultimately he decides to leave the Jews service, exhibiting his racial prejudice and his false expectation of Bassanio's wealth. He teases his father, his poor father Gobbo, taking advantage of his blindness. So, Gobbo is the father, and he is half a blind and urges him to plead to Bassanio to employ him. Now, over here we have come to know that in section 2 we will come to know that Launcelot is saying that truly he is saying to his father that truly my conscience will allow me to run away from this Jew, my master. So, who is this master? Who is the Jewish master over here? Shylock. And under Shylock, Launcelot used to work as a servant. The devil stands close to me and tempts me, saying, Gobbo, Launcelot, Gobbo, good Launcelot, or good Gobbo, or good Launcelot Gobbo, use your legs, start immediately and run away. To this my conscience replies, no, take care, honest Launcelot, take care, honest Gobbo, or as told before, honest Launcelot Gobbo, do not run, be utterly contemptuous of running. The bold devil, that is the bold devil, persuades me to pack up and run away. Oh, says the devil, for heaven's sake build up the courage and run away. My conscience pleading with my heart says wisely to me, my honest friend Launcelot, since you are an honest man's son. So Launcelot is considering himself as the honest man's son, that rather an honest woman's son. So he is very fond of his mother also. So my conscience says, Launcelot, do not move. Says the devils, do not move, replies my conscience. I say to my conscience, you advise me well. To the devil I say, devil, you advise me well. If I am ruled by my conscience, I must stay with my master, the Jew, who may God bless us, is a kind of devil. Is a kind of devil means he is considering Shylock as a devil, right. To run away from the Jew, I must be guided by this devil, and who, may God bless us, is the devil himself. The Jew is the devil in human form, and my conscience, which is a strict conscience, tells me to stay with the Jew. The devil gives me more friendly advice. I will run away, devil, my legs are at your command, I will run away. So, in the beginning, he is just debating with his own conscience whether he should leave Shylock's household and take up a different service, and should run away from Shylock's household and should take up the service with Bassanio or not. Now, at this there enters the old Gobbo. Now, old Gobbo happens to be the father of Launcelot Gobbo. Now, old Gobbo is entering the scene with a basket in his hand. He is entering the stage with a basket in his hand, and Gobbo is just asking Launcelot that, young gentleman, can you tell me the way to the house of the old Jew? At this, his son Launcelot is going to the side and is saying, oh heaven, he is my father who begot me. So, he is just calling me young gentleman. So, you are my father. Since he is more than half blind, almost completely blind, he does not even recognize me. I will try to confuse him. So, Launcelot is saying that my father is half a blind, or I can say that completely blind. So, he is not recognizing his son, his own son. So, Launcelot thought that let us play some antics, let us play some foolish, let us behave in an amusing way, let us act foolishly, and he plays some antics with his father and is saying and start to communicate with his father, and started to communicate with his father. So, Gobbo is saying, asking again Launcelot that, young man, I request you to tell me the way to the old Jew's house. At this, the Launcelot is replying to his father in an amusing way that, go to your right at the next turn, but at the next bend turn to your left. I swear by blessed Mary, I say, at the very next morning, do not turn anywhere, but let her turn down towards the Jew's house, towards the Jew's house. Now, at this, Gobbo is saying, by God's sense, this will be a difficult path to take. Could you tell me whether certain Launcelot who lives with the Jew lives with him or not? So, Gobbo is actually, old Gobbo is blind, right, you right, students? So, he is asking, he couldn't recognize his son's Launcelot, and he is asking that, could you please tell me the way you have given me the direction to Jew's house is quite difficult for me as a path to take. So, can you just please confirm whether Launcelot is working with him, is working with Shylock still now or not? Is he there with with his master, that is Shylock? Here Launcelot master is actually Shylock, right. So, at this, Launcelot continued with his antics, continued with his foolish behavior, and is replying to his father. Now, do you talk about young Master Launcelot? Look at me now, I bring tears into his eyes. Are you talking about young Master Launcelot? So, at this, his father, that is the old Gobbo, he is telling, do not call him master, sir. He is the son of a poor man. His father, although I say it myself, is an honest man. In spite of being very poor, thank God he leads a good life. So, Gobbo is saying that, do not call him master. So, he is not able to recognize Launcelot. It is very amazing, you know, even if he is blind, he could have recognized his son's voice, but he is not able to recognize that also, and he is asking that, do not call him master, sir. He is the son of a poor man, he is the son of an honest man. So, thank God he leads a good life, he is not like his master, who happens to be a Jew and very cruel and dishonest, so to say. So, at this, Launcelot is telling, well, let his father be whatever he is, we are talking about young Launcelot. So, Launcelot is just confusing his father, and he is saying that, okay, no matter whatever his father is, his father could be honest, but we are talking about young Launcelot. So, at this, Gobbo is saying, yes sir, your young friend Launcelot. So, he is not able to recognize his son, and is considering the person whom he is talking to as friend of Launcelot, that is friend of his son. So, Launcelot is saying, at this, that I ask you therefore, old gentleman, are you referring to young Master Launcelot? Right. So, are you referring to young Master Launcelot? So, he is asking that, right. So, he is Master Young Gentleman, I pray you, which is the okay. So, over here we have come to know that Gobbo is saying that, yes, to Launcelot, if you please, sir. So, can you please, old Gobbo is asking his son, yes, to Launcelot, if you please, sir, if you could refer me to Master, means to the young Master Launcelot. So, Launcelot at this is saying that, therefore, you are referring to the Master Launcelot. Do not speak about Master Launcelot, old gentleman. The young man, according to his fate of destiny, or such things, or the three sisters of the ancient Greeks, are such other branches, and such other branches of learning is dead, or to say in plain words, has gone to heaven. Right. So, at this he means he's saying that just a minute, yeah, he is saying that means he has gone to heaven. So, he is saying that he has you are talking about Master Launcelot, so he has already died, right. So, at this Gobbo is saying that Mary, God forbid, Mary, God forbid, the boy was the very stuff of my age, my very prop. So, he is saying that by Virgin Mary, may God forbid this to happen, he should not die. The boy was the support in my old age, my only support. So, he is my son. Do not talk about Master Launcelot's death, because like he is my only support, he is my only son whom I can resort to when I am turning, as I have turned old, right. So, at this Launcelot is saying that, do I look like a cudgel of or a hovel post, a stuff or a prop? Do you know me, father? So, at this Launcelot is just revealing himself and is saying, do I look like a stuff or a post supporting or shade to you, a staff or a supporter? Right, he is saying so to his father, that do I look like a shade, that whom you will take the support? Don't you recognize me, father? So, he is now at this point of time got annoyed that, don't you recognize me, father? I am your son talking to you. You are talking about your son as a support, and you cannot recognize your support. So, do I look like a shade, or am I a shade to you? Am I appearing a shade to you? Means, is your son a shade to you? So, who am I? So, at this point of time, Launcelot got annoyed and just revealing himself to his father. At this, Gobbo is saying, alack the day, I know you not, young gentleman, but I pray you tell me, is my boy, God rest his soul, alive or dead? So, Gobbo is saying, alas the day, I do not know you, young man, but please tell me, is my son, may God give him peace, dead or alive. If he is alive, then also may God bless him. If he is dead, then may God give him peace. So, in still that point of time, old Gobbo was unable to recognize his son. At this, Launcelot said, don't you recognize me, father? So, he is repeating that, do you not know me, father? Don't you recognize me, father? So, Launcelot is getting annoyed, right. So, after that, Launcelot is telling that, no, indeed, even if your eyesight was good, you might not recognize. Okay, now at this, Gobbo said that, alas sir, I am half blind, I cannot recognize you. At this, his son Launcelot is telling his father that, no, indeed, even if your eyesight was good, you might not recognize me, for it is a wise father who recognizes his child. So, as a father, you should have recognized me. I understand that even if your eyesight was not good, you should have recognized your son at least. Well, old man, I shall give you news of your son. Okay, if you want to know about your son, I will tell you about your son. Give me your blessing.